Welcome to our channel. This is Leo and I'm Nadine. So we are on our way to Vietnam, but first of all we have to take a bus and a train to reach Frankfurt Airport.
We have to make the check-in and then we're gonna pass to the next level, that is to take the plane.
But how cool is that? We just found a yoga room at the airport and we directly took the chance to do some quick stretch because we know later on we have to sit like 11 hours on the plane. And honestly, they had everything in this room. They had yoga mats which you could use, and then they had a huge Buddha picture at the wall and some relaxing music was playing, so it was a very nice ambient there inside. But now enough stretching, it is time for boarding. So we flew with Bamboo Airways, and honestly we didn't know about this airline earlier until we started to check for tickets to go to Vietnam. The tickets were super cheap. We paid around 300 euros per person one way, so we just thought, okay, why not, let's give it a try. And we have to say the plane looked like super new and everything was like really modern, and the food on board was good, the service was good, and they also had a great entertainment system. So all in all, you had everything that you need throughout the flight.
Once we arrived in Hanoi airport, it was super uncomplicated to go through the immigration because we was making our visas already and we prepared all online, and this cost about $25 for 1 month. Once that we pick up our bags, we take some SIM cards that cost about 10 euros, and after that get a Grab and made our way to Hanoi City Backpacker Hostel in the old quarter of the town.
Hi and welcome back. So after a very long trip from Frankfurt to Hanoi, we finally made it to Vietnam. Yay! And yeah, we are staying in the old center here, and yesterday we didn't make much because we were super jet lagged, but today we are fit and ready to explore the city, and I would say, first of all, let's get some breakfast.
So we just finished our breakfast at Banh Mi 25, which is a very famous place here in downtown Hanoi. So what is a Banh Mi? Banh Mi is a baguette kind of thing, you have to imagine, and it is brought by the French during the invasion in Vietnam, and until today they still are using the recipes, and I can tell you those baguettes are like, they're amazing. They're super crunchy from the outside and so soft from the inside. And we had 2 banh mi's with avocado, egg and veggies. And yeah, they put some herbs like coriander and then some mint and stuff like that. And it was like super delicious.
We have 2 banh mi's, 1 iced coffee and 1 passion fruit smoothie. And we just pay like 145,000 Vietnamese dons. That is about
560.
560.
€5.60. So down in the info box we're going to leave you the link to the place where we've just been to eat. And yeah, now we're going to continue our trip and see you later.
We hopped on a taxi bike to explore the city and quickly realized how crazy the traffic is, guys. Our trip was 100k, which is about 4 euros, and give us some first impression of the city. Our first stop is Ngoc Son Temple for just about 30k. It's about €1.20 per person the entry. Next, we checked out the Saint Joseph Cathedral, similar to Notre Dame in Paris.
Then it was time for coffee, because Leo, he loves coffee, and of course he wanted to try the famous egg coffee from Vietnam. So we went to a place called the Old Town Coffee, which was hidden behind a small shop, and honestly, from the outside you would never expect such a cute place in the backyard. So the coffee had like 4 or 5 floors, some little terraces, and everything was super green because they had so many plants. And on the menu they had like different types of teas, snacks, and loads of different types of coffees. But as I said before, we came here for a reason.
Well, now I'm gonna try the Vietnamese coffee, which is Vietnamese coffee with, instead of milk, they put egg. So name is
Wow, it's super creamy.
It's really creamy. You see, you can see in the camera. It's really,
Wow. Super thick.
yeah. Let's try it on. It's really good. Really good. Be careful with the stir, guys, when you come in, because you can have souvenir.
After that, we visited the Quan Su Temple. I hope I say this right. So this temple is a Buddhist temple that is just located in the heart center of the city. And the good thing is it is completely free of any charge if you want to enter. And it is open every day from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if you're in Hanoi, make sure to visit this temple, as it is a very peaceful oasis, away of all the hustle and bustle of the noisy city. The rest of the day we just kept exploring the city, and in the evening we ended up in a restaurant to try some local food and of course some local beer, and we have to say the beer in Vietnam is just so good.
On the way back home to our hostel, we were craving for something sweet, so we have a quick stop at Lifted. This is a coffee and brunch where you can have an amazing choice of homemade donuts like passion fruits donuts, salted donuts, matcha lemon flavor, and many more. So, and that was our first day in Hanoi.
Another day, another coffee. We start our day again with a coffee and a delicious Banh Mi. Then we make our way to the Temple of Literature in Hanoi. This temple is an historical and cultural landmark in Vietnam. It was originally built in the century number 10 as a Confucian temple and later became the first university of Vietnam. This temple is dedicated to the Chinese philosopher Confucius. Confucius was a Chinese philosopher, teacher, and political figure who lived during the spring and autumn period of Chinese history. The temple is also a popular destination for students who come and pray for academic success and good luck in their studies. Also became a symbol of education and knowledge in Vietnam, and is a must-see destination for everyone interested in the country, history and culture. The opening hours are from Tuesday to Sunday from 8:30 in the morning to 11:30, and then from 1:30 until 4:30 in the afternoon. The entrance fee is about 30,000 Vietnamese dong. That is about €1.25. Visiting the temple was again a very nice escape of the hectic and chaotic city noise.
After that, we went to visit the Mausoleum of Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh was a Vietnamese revolutionary, communist, politician, prime minister, and at one point also the president of northern Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh was fighting for the independence of Vietnam, and in honor to him, a city was named after him, Ho Chi Minh City, which earlier was called Saigon. The Mausoleum of Ho Chi Minh is a symbol of respect and admiration for the Vietnamese people towards their former leader. The mausoleum was super impressive as it was surrounded by lovely gardens, coffees, stands, and also my chance to buy a scarf as it was freezing cold that day. The entrance to the mausoleum is free of charge, but just keep in mind that it's possible that there are long waiting lines outside due to its popularity. And because we were freezing so much, we went for hot tea at a place called Tofu Toku. where we also tried Tofu, which is an iconic Vietnamese dish made of soybean custard with coconut milk, roasted coconut flakes, jellies and so on. You have to imagine it is like a sweet warm soup, and it was very delicious. So we paid 25k for each tofu, and we got the tea for free. So normally we wanted to film a little bit more outside, but seriously guys, here in this city it's just crazy. The traffic is mental. No, we've never seen something that crazy like here. There are like tons and tons of scooters, and they're like just driving everywhere between and cutting the streets, and it's just crazy. So every time you want to cross the street, it's like it feels like a suicide attempt, right?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. So yeah, and it's so noisy. They're honking all the time. So we could not find a place with a little bit more of a silence. So we decided to film the rest of the video here in the hostel room. If you're wondering why I'm using a scarf, so when we came here like 2 or 3 days ago, we had like 32 degrees, and just from one day to another, the temperatures, they dropped down to 12 or 14 degrees, and seriously it was freezing cold yesterday, so we had to buy some hoodies and some stuff. So just make sure that whenever you come to Hanoi, make sure that you bring like a hoodie, a rain jacket, a poncho, a normal jacket, and maybe a little bit of everything. So see you in the next video. Bye bye! We started off the day with a trip to the train street, which is a narrow alleyway in Hanoi's old quarter that has become famous for its vibrant street art. The alleyway runs alongside an active railway track, and people come to see the graffiti and watch the trains pass by. Unfortunately, it was closed today due to its recent accidents on the rails, but we respect the decisions and understand the importance of safety. After that, we walked to the graffiti street to check out the beautiful wall art.
These graffitis and painting often reflect the social and political issues, as well as a pop culture and street fashion.
But here we just kind of rushed through it, as we also saw a few not so nice things on the other side, like grilled dogs for example. And we have to say it was a bit strange for us to see, but we knew it before we came to this country that it was part of the culture. Next we headed to West Lake,
where we meet some friendly fishermen and local people.
From there we made our way towards the Ngoc Pagoda.
The pagoda is located on a small island on the West Lake and is the oldest pagoda in Hanoi. It is said to be 1,400 years old. Ngoc Pagoda is a popular tourist destination, attracting visitors from all over the world.
Pagodas are tower-like structures which you usually find in Buddhist temples, and they represent the replicas of Buddha.
If you plan to visit Ngoc Pagoda, please make sure to dress modestly and respectfully. That means covering your shoulders and your knees. The temple was free to visit, and they open from 7:30 to 11:30 and from 1:30 to 5:30.
Of course, we could not leave Hanoi without trying the famous pho soup. We found a vegetarian restaurant nearby called Com Pho Chai To Be, which was recommended to us by Google. Pho is a soup made of broth, rice noodles, herbs and usually beef. But as we are not eating meat, we had it with a meat replacement. The soup was very tasty and full of flavor, and we have to say the owner of the restaurant was also really friendly and had lots of nice vegetarian options on his menu. So definitely give it a try if you're in Hanoi. To end the day on a sweet note, we treated ourselves with some bubble tea at Din Tea. Maybe you don't know yet, but honestly, Leo and me, we are just crazy for bubble tea and we just love it. And that was our last day in Hanoi. Tomorrow we will make our way up to Halong City, because from there we want to go to Kappa Island. We hope you enjoyed our first YouTube video, and we cannot wait to share our next adventure with you guys. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.